Well, here we are on YouTube. Here we are checking out an album from one of our wonderful patrons, Murdoch. And here you are watching us do all of that at the same time. So welcome to the channel.
Yeah, I mean, this is really cool to do albums. I really enjoyed the album tier, not because of the price that it's at. It is a lot of work for us to go through a whole album. It usually takes a couple of recordings. But why I like albums is because it's whatever the band or the artist is presenting, this is kind of their theme. This is their, hey, here's a collection of songs that represents where we are, where we were at this time when we made this album. So this is a band called Tame Impala. They're another Australian band, Nathan.
And we've really enjoyed Australian bands. I think we've said that many times on this channel, how much we enjoy the Australian music scene just in general. I think they put out a lot of really great music. So I'm never afraid to try Australian music.
Yeah, they seem to be a good representation of artists come from Australia.
Yeah.
I was going to say come from down under because that's too easy. But they just come from Australia.
Yes.
So
I'm just pouring myself some delicious stuff in my Welp mug.
There you go. Okay. So Nathan, they are a psychedelic music project of a gentleman named Kevin Parker. So he's kind of the ringleader of the project. So it says here that he's the major and kind of only member. So he must be like the creator of all the songs. But then he has like touring members and people that go on, the albums with him. He's sort of like the Bruce Springsteen, I guess. He does have some musicians that seem to be with him for live band, it looks like recordings, or sort of live band tours. He has but it seems like in the studio. It says here he does all the vocals and instruments in the studio. So it is a Kevin Parker project, I guess you could say. It is a solo act. There you go.
Okay, interesting.
Wow, yeah. So let's just with that in mind, this is the debut album. We're gonna do part 1 today at the time it's recording, part 2 at a later time. So let's go. The first song is called. Track is called. You ready?
It's called "It's Not Meant to Be." It is not meant to be.
That's sad. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Woo.
Doom, 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 doom,
I love that. Yeah. The
doom, doom, doom,
do do
doom,
do.
doom.
This is a really cool bass line. I liked it. It's funny. Murdoch often has a good sense of what we're gonna enjoy. And I think this one, for me anyway, I liked. Like, there's no way you can't listen to that and not think John Lennon.
Yeah. What?
What?
I never.
You're the first person to say that. Because the voice sounds very similar.
Well, same vocal effect as some of his. I read the news today. There's some very similar vocal effects and Beatles and psychedelic music. I mean, come on. So there's definitely a heavy influence here, which again, influence doesn't mean ripoff, and so I think he's channeling that same psychedelic spirit that the Beatles obviously perfected.
But a very relaxing song, I would say. Like, that's kind of
So I know psychedelic rock is a genre. That's what we're listening to. So it's not quite my wheelhouse, but it is that peripheral. Because it has all the elements that I like in music. There's a toe tapper, you got electric guitar, you got the bass. You have all these instruments playing, but there is a different sound and twinge to it. So for an opening track, I actually really enjoyed the chorus. The chorus surprised me. The way the song began, I found the chorus much more accessible than I anticipated. Like, it was a very accessible chorus, and it was very nice. The outro was a little long. If I was the producer, which I guess he was as well, Kevin, but I would have maybe just shortened it just a little. I would have tightened the ending just a little bit because it didn't change. It just repeated itself like 5 times. So that I would have just had a tighter outro because it didn't add anything other than just repeating the same doom doom doom. But other than that, I get that song. Like, I don't usually rate things, but I just want people to know where I'm at. About 7.5 out of 10. Like 7, a strong 7, not quite an 8.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to what more this album. Obviously, this is the first track, but it's always interesting to hear how a band or an artist will introduces the album. To me, it's always the strongest track, but usually it's a track that kind of gets you in a little bit. So it did that, but I'm wanting a little bit more.
Yeah,
a little bit more.
Okay, so I can't see the chat. I just noticed that Murdoch's in there. What did he say?
He's just chit-chat. I'll let you know if he says anything important. No,
okay.
But
Okay.
regarding the album, he did. Well, he did say that Kevin. Yeah, he got a touring band when he became more popular. They had to go on tour, so he hired a band to tour with them. So he's a studio guy, but he has people. It's like Joe Satriani. Remember Joe Satriani, Steve Vai? They're all the same thing. They create all their music, but then
you get others to play it for them.
Yeah. All right. The next song is Desire Be, Desire Go. Yeah.
Okay. I like it too. I like that. Great. That's blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, we say words.
Me say things now about song. So I was, yeah, it was good. I was kind of worried that it would get too long because I saw that the lyrics were done, and I thought, like, how long can they keep this thing going on and me still be interested? And actually, I was kind of
That's what
like,
she said.
I'm always trying to like dodge those ones.
I know. I'll get it every time.
Yeah, I know.
Get it every time.
I'm always like, wait, I gotta rephrase that. No, I like it. I again, like sometime, and I'll just say this about another band that we've listened to that I think is actually kind of similar is King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard. If you've never heard King Gizzard's stuff, there's similarities there, and even the beat, right? And how they're playing with that. So King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, check them out. They're a great band that we really enjoy. This has similarities, I think, to that. But there's been times sometimes in some of their songs, certainly not all their songs, but in the occasional song where, you or I have thought this kind of went on a little too long. Mm-hmm. And in that one I was worried about it, but it didn't go there. It actually, I enjoyed that ending. It was kind of nice.
I totally agree. You're saying pretty much what I was thinking, like my fear, because I said that for the first one. It should have been tightened at the end. Yeah. But it seems like this guy does have a theme, of course, where he does have that outro, which I like, and this one did have some change to the outro. Mm-hmm. It's also just I think it's a stronger song than the first one, and especially sometimes we do this when we listen to a new album or new sound, songs sort of get better because we're getting more used to the journey that we're going on. Yeah. It's not jarring with every new song. Yeah. But lastly, I think this guy does have a style. And this isn't a criticism because it was an observation, so there's a difference. Mm-hmm. So what I'm about to say sounds like the song's too long comment. But I found myself 2/3 of the way through the song, like, did we change songs? And like, did it bleed into the next song type thing? So it's a good and a bad thing. I don't know quite what I mean by that, but I'm like, well, that was only 4.5 minutes long, but it felt longer. Doesn't mean it was boring, but it felt longer. So I don't know. That's his style. I think he packs a lot into not 10-minute songs, but it's like it felt longer than a 4-minute song. So it's interesting. So again, not a criticism, not quite a compliment yet, but just an observation. The songs feel longer than they are. So it'll be interesting to see that carries on with the next song. Yeah,
great observation, right?
Yeah, I just want to be clear. It's not that I want the end. It's just I'm like, oh, it's still going. I thought it's only 3 minutes and it felt like 5 or something. So it's an interesting observation. Yeah. We'll see how it plays. Yeah.
So next we've got Alter Ego. He likes the bass.
He does like the bass. Yeah, we haven't mentioned that. There's great bass lines. It's kind of a jazzy, like a little bit like a speed up jazz beat.
Steady.
The horns work for you?
I don't think that's horns. Electric guitar, I think. Or keyboard. Led Zeppelin even. Like Immigrant Song.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah.
To
'Cause
hi-hat actually. So I got a theory with that song.
Yes.
My theory is that this song started with the drum beat. That I think that's what led the way, because it feels like it was built around that idea. Like, oh, I've got this cool drum beat. How do I add music that goes with the drum beat that kind of, what would that sound like? Because the drum beat is very, I don't know, it stands out to me the most in that song.
I like it.
Yeah, that's just my theory. It's a good song.
No, it's good. I think I think each song so far has gotten a little bit better. Each song got a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Now, or again, as we experience the sound of the album, we get more into the album. But I think that was definitely the highlight with the horns, and just felt like the kind of a fuller stuff was going on. And I like that the beat of that faster kind of jazz sound, and then you heard the little shaker too. I just like all the yeah. So it was fun. It was a fun song there, Murdoch. Now the next one, Nathan, the fourth track on the album, it's actually the second single from the album. So just so you know, we haven't heard any singles yet. But okay, go ahead, please.
I was just going to say that I think that this music fits into a like if I was to classify this, I'm just pulling off of what I know from other genres. So
okay,
it fits into trance. Like if you've ever heard of trance,
I'm a big supporter of the trance community.
No, not trans, trance, trance.
I also support the trans public system. Gets my son to work all the time, so I'm very supportive of both. So they play this on the buses, is what you're saying?
You're an idiot.
All right. Ready for some lucidity?
Some lucidity. Oh, is that what the next one is?
Yes.
Is lucidity? Okay. Here we go.
He's covered the Queen right now. very King Gizzard transition there,
Very much so. Yep.
which I want to speak to after. So this album came out 2 years before King Gizzard released their album. And they're both from Australia, and they're both considered kind of that psychedelic. So whatever that music scene was, maybe at the time, or the influences, there's definitely, so Kevin is definitely influenced by who he's influenced by. But you got to wonder if King Gizzard was aware of this. This was a big, when this album came out, it was actually nominated, or it won Rolling Stone's Album of the Year at the time. It's got a lot, it's got a lot of accolades. So I suspect the King Gizzard guys were probably aware of this album, or the sound at the very least. I mean, there were some transitions and sounds there that you told me that was King Gizzard. I would be like, oh, okay.
Yeah. The only thing that didn't sound King Gizzard was that riff, the do 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 do.
Sure, that part. But the transition when it kicked up at the end, I almost just half expected to hear Stu woo,
right, and hear the guitar going. Yeah.
Right. So I could see why that was a single. Maybe the weakest song was the first one so far. Each song seems to kind of build on the next, and again, they're all toe tappers. I'm a little bit nervous for the song that slows down. I will say I don't know how much that will be interesting. What engages me is the beats per minute. Boom, 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 boom. Like it's just like it's like fast jazz. It doesn't get complicated. I don't like, as you know, I don't like music that goes up and down and up to stop and so. I do like it keeps going, it keeps moving. So
yeah.
All right, so Nathan, this track 5
is
actually the 4th single from the album, and is called "Why Won't You Make Up Your Mind?" Sounds like my wife and I when we're trying to order food.
Yeah, it's like us trying to figure out what show to watch. Anyway. Okay. Sounds good. Let's listen. Maybe the shortest song on the album. Some echo effect there too.
Yeah.
Give me a sign.
Yeah, that would not surprise me even the tiniest if either King Gizzard was influenced by Kevin Parker or vice versa. If Kevin Parker was like, "Hey, look at this band that's like doing kind of what I'm doing, but a little bit differently." Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they're very well known to each other.
Yeah, I would suspect so. Let us know in the comments below.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, another a great song. I can see why that was a single. Like you said, it was one of the shorter tracks, so it's easy for radio play to kind of be put on the radio. And
yeah,
again, I know people on our Discord are enjoying their journey with us. This is what we love, is that people are in our Discord listening to the album for the first time with us, so that's great. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Murdoch's there while we listen to it. All those elements that we love about our channel are all rolled into one right now. You got people listening with us, and listening to music outside of their spectrum or wheelhouse as well, and commenting. So it's really cool that the community of the Welpdom grows and grows and grows.
It is very cool. Yeah, it's one of the
reasons I like that song. I think it's a little bit down from the other song as far as like level of enjoyment right away, but still, it's a strong way to end side one, or almost end side one, I guess you could say. But the next song will be, I think it's song 6. So it'll be the last one that we do for part 1, Nathan. Okay. It's called Solitude is Bliss, and this too was the first single from the album. So this is interesting. So our part 1 will end what Kevin felt was, how let me introduce myself and this album to the world, because it's the debut single. So it'll be interesting to hear how it sounds.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Ooh, a little bit funky.
Yeah. A little bit of the edge sound to it.
Yeah.
Cracks in the pavement underneath my shoe. I care less and less about and less about you. No one else around to look at me, so I can look at my shadow as much as I please. All the kicks that I can't compare to, making friends like you're all supposed to.
Yeah. Wow. Like that's a great song. I think that's probably my. Is that my favorite one on this album? I don't know if it's my
top three for
top
me.
three. Absolutely. It's Yeah. So I think what we've picked up from listening to it this far is that, like, it seems to be always built around something. So and he's very good at picking good like themes or riffs, I think is the right where you like we're humming the riffs afterwards almost every time, right? Because they're catchy. You pick up on them and they're repetitive, and then you kind of like you're dun 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 dun, like very well thought out. And I think it's kind of fun to see that kind of process in a musician. How did they come up with the song? And sometimes I'm thinking about that a lot. And in this one, I feel like I'm thinking about it more. Yeah, the hook or the riff that they've chosen to mold the song around. And then in this one especially, it kind of went in a different direction. We heard the beginning of the song. I was like, oh, it's going this way. And then I heard him sing, and it was like, it doesn't quite sound like what I thought he was going to do, but it still works. Yeah.
You're giving very good comments today.
Well, I try.
No, this again is not my wheelhouse of music, but I like it. So it's because it's rock and roll beats per minute is all there for me. So it moves, it grooves, it has the vocals that I like, but there's things that miss for me to make it like a 10 out of 10 type of experience. However, I was a little bit worried for like the first song, but as the album has progressed and as each song has progressed, and we've sort of ended side one or part one of this recording, it definitely is a very unique debut. You get a feel for what this guy's about. It'd be interesting to hear his other albums because they've been well received as well. But for a debut project at the young age of, I think he's 36 now. So what would he have been 12 years ago? 24?
24, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So give you some context of his age here. So
Well, and the other thing I was thinking about, because I often think about this with music, is how would this play out with images? So when you got images playing, what are those images? Do they work well with the music somehow? Can it be attached? And I do think so. I think there's a couple of times, like I think I will tap into some of his music when I'm looking for a certain kind of like look or certain sound.
sure. Oh, was that it? Oh, sorry. Right?
No, I just had to cough. Yeah.
Okay. So right here, Murdoch said, yeah, right. Hooky guitar riff. The vibe sound is very homoerotic on the album. Oh, sorry. Homogeneous. My apologies. Sorry. I read that wrong.
Oh, boy.
All right. We'll see you on part 2.
Yeah, we'll see you on part 2.
Oh, this is just the cup today because this is like the mug is like coffee 1 and this is leftover coffee 2, so it doesn't require the full mug. Okay, all right. So that's asking where the mug is.
We are recording, so.
Oh, that's great. Okay, all right. This is part 2. You ready?
So I'm ready. This is
right.
Jeremy Storm. It looks like it's a instrumental of sorts. So
Yeah, it's an instrumental. Yeah.
let's give her a shot.
All right.
bass line's kind of cool there. Just a low drone.
Yeah.
Oh, it's heavy.
It's like a heavy soft combination.
Yeah, I know.
And boom, boom. I can see what why that was an instrumental. I always think when I listen to instrumentals, I know. Okay, yeah, yeah, doom, 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 doom. Okay. When I hear instrumentals, I always like from other bands and stuff or whoever. When a band isn't known to be an instrumental band, but they throw in that instrumental track. Every band does it every now and then.
Sure.
And I always think to myself, where would the lyrics have gone? Have you ever do that? Like if I was to create the vocals, like where would they go? I always try to picture I'm singing now and this is where I'm going to sing. This is this song. Yeah. I do that. And so this song I can see maybe where they might have been able, or I say they were Kevin. So Kevin is the sole composer. Kevin Parker is the gentleman's name. If you just, I know it's been a few days since our last part one, but so this is a Australian musical project called Tame Impala, but it's actually all written and recorded by a guy named Kevin Parker who does all the instruments. So that's what again I find fascinating about this album.
Yeah,
one guy. He does all the instruments. He does all the, of course, the lyrics when the songs have lyrics and what have you. So, reading about Kevin about this album, he said he wanted to create an album where the songs just come from his, obviously from his brain, his heart, or whatever. But he says, like, if you were to plug in something into his head, this is what you're hearing. Oh. And I kind of like that visual of like when you have a song in your head, you want to get it out. Like that's what he he just kind of like oofs it out. So you plug this into his brain.
Innerspeaker. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Okay.
I always think with instrumentals, there's kind of a number of categories of instrumentals. There's the category you're talking about where it's a song that you're kind of like, oh, the lyrics could have gone here, but there's no lyrics. And then there's ones that are like just clearly like instrumentals where they're playing with sounds that they like, and they're just playing those sounds just to kind of hear those sounds. And that's this one falls into that category for me. The kind of like there's some that like grungy kind of jing, 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 jing. And underneath
Right.
it all, the Jeremy Storm is a good visual of Jeremy Storm. The idea of this kind of like gentle music along with that kind of
Yeah, something like so thunder rolling maybe in the background. Yeah, that.
even I like instrumental. I've always liked instrumentals. They've always kind of like been my favorite parts of bands. Not because I don't like the music, the singing. It's because I'm always curious to hear what they sound like musically, and can they pull that off in a way that like it's like them going like, oh, I just want to like play music. And so I'm always curious to see how bands handle that idea of let's just play music. We don't have to sing it. Yeah, I love it.
All right, the next song is called Expectation. It is the third single from the album, and it's the final single from our listening of this album. But it was the third one released. So here we go. Track 8, Expectation.
I have high expectations for this one. It's an unexpected beat.
Everything you ever told me could have been a lie. We may never have been in love. Stuck on thinking that there is always something to lose or a hit from above. There
imagine there's gonna be a long outro here. Or maybe a solo. Or a secret song, maybe. Oh, there's gonna be a secret song. Yep.
Oh, I see. Okay. It's not really a secret song, but it's still maybe. I wonder if the radio edit cut it off there and then.
Yeah. Nice sounds. Yeah, it's a nice sounding song. From what I remember from when we did part 1, like there are some other stronger singles in that one, but that I still like this song. Again, for the experimental side of it, I think what I enjoy about Kevin, right? That's the guy that's writing all this stuff. Is now I'm starting to imagine him doing everything, and I'm kind of like, oh wow, like this is a lot for one person to be able to pull off well. And like I'm hearing the drums and the guitars and you know, and then the writing of the, you know, his lyrics are very strong too. So it's kind of a really like a well-rounded package. And then it makes me wonder, like, how come no one's collaborating with Kevin? Because I always think like artists can only be so great on their own.
Well, he has a touring band, of course, which I have a sort of. I just did some digging on the interwebs. So I was curious to see what his YouTube activities like, and wanted to see what Kevin looked like.
Okay.
Nathan, I just found. I kind of wish Murdoch. We told you we like live performances. We've told you. And I think, and I'm gonna. Hopefully, Murdoch doesn't mind, or if you don't want to do this, I understand. I actually found his 10th anniversary live performance that he does from his house.
Oh.
It's pro shot, and it's in order of the tracks. I know.
Should we do the last
That's what I'm saying. Do you want to do the last 3 songs from that clip?
and then see him a little bit? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see him performing this stuff live, and
Let's do it.
because okay, so this is a shout out to everyone. If you in these situations, this is like a unique situation. You played the whole album live. Oh, Murdoch.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm just. I don't know if Murdoch even considered it or even knew about it. Who knows? I just found this on his site here. So I'm going to see. You can pause the recording.
Okay, so we did find that video, and so now we're going to watch him live for the last couple of tracks here. It'd be a good opportunity to see, you know, what he looks like, what he's like on stage, and I think he's a real measure of an artist, like you say. So.
Yeah, here we go. So this next song is called "The Bold Arrow." The Bold Arrow of Time. I believe I got this. I think I got this. Yeah. And so he actually played this. Well, let me just read this. So this is the 10th anniversary of Innerspeaker, live from the Wave House broadcast. It was done in April of 2021, so very recently. Here's the description, Nathan, of this performance. On the 10-year anniversary of the band's seminal debut album, Innerspeaker. It's weird how it says band again, because it was Kevin that did everything. But Tame Impala presents Innerspeaker live from Wave House. The band will perform the album from start to finish. located 4 hours from their hometown of Perth and perched on the Indian Ocean. Wave House is the legendary studio where Kevin Parker recorded the album 10 years ago and where the band will bring the album to life in April 2021. So there you go. So this song is The Bold Arrow of Time. So they actually played it in order of the album itself. So that's cool. All right.
Yeah. And I did want to mention about the last song that we listened to.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It has kind of a feel... have you listened to much Alan Parsons Project? I think we've done
just very, very, very minimal.
Yeah, I listened to a lot of it as a kid because my dad really liked it, and this has a bit of that sound. If people are familiar with Alan Parsons Project, so I think it has similarities. Yeah.
Okay. I see that. Yeah.
Cool. A blues intro.
Don't you wish we watched the whole thing this way?
Yeah.
I know. That's okay. We love you, Murdoch. Oh, Jimi Hendrix down there.
Yeah. Wow. Great sound.
It's like a mixture of like Sabbath and Hendrix, almost like.
Like Deep Purple a little bit.
Yeah. With the voice of John Lennon.
Yeah.
It's just 3 instruments, drum, bass, guitar. That's it. Also reminds me of some Queens of the Stone Age sound. Yeah. Yeah. This shows you the drums that you don't need a huge drum set. Like he's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, no, you don't. I've seen some kits that are just hi-hat, snare, and bass.
yeah. It's almost all he has. But... Oh, maybe this is there 4 guys there? Sorry, maybe there's 4 guys. There. Yeah, my bad. There is a rhythm guitarist there. Okay, yeah. Oh, there he is. Okay, yeah.
You want to like sing along with them?
See, I told you, like, watching the band do it live is always more enjoyable. I don't know why. I like watching what they do and who's doing it.
Absolutely.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, I'm glad we changed for that song. Quite honestly, because that song is, I think that's a lot more exciting to watch played live. Honestly, because of that kind of do and everyone kind of like playing. I don't know. I really enjoyed that song. That's one of my favorites so far.
Awesome. I totally agree. Yeah, I mean, we were talking throughout the song too how
Yeah.
it felt. So
Yeah.
This next one is a little bit longer. It's 7 minutes, so it'll be interesting. I bet you'll be kind of a jammy type song. It's called "Runway Houses City Clouds." Runway Houses City. So I suspect like each little. I bet you there'll be like little parts.
Little
the runway
vignettes. Yeah.
houses city clouds. Oh, it sounds like an airplane taking off. You're on the runway.
Mm-hmm.
You see the houses. You see the city.
And then the
You
clouds.
see the clouds.
You're so smart.
Yeah. Look at me figuring things out.
It'd be funny if it wasn't any of those things.
It's about a train.
Ooh, keyboards. He changed it so that it's got that effect.
It's like, well, this is actually like updated psychedelic rock. So
Yeah. Drummer had like a John Bonham style. I love it.
So I wonder if that was the runway part. You know, every pause, I'm going to wonder if that's the next part. It's quite the pause. Like, oh, did we screw up? Let's try it again.
Now I'm a bit sorry. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's this guy? Hey, I'll come in with the shaker. Shaker guy, come on stage. Vocals are so clear and clean.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Shows you how fast they're moving on their fingers there. Like,
I know. I like that little riff.
change that tone just one bit and add some distortion. That's like heavy metal.
Yeah. Took the sheet off, it muffles the sound.
clouds part? Is that where they're showing the clouds?
Oh, maybe, yeah. Beautiful location to do it from. Go get it, shaker guy.
That's a guitar sound. I almost sound like a keyboard.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's what I mean. That's why I like seeing it live to see what instruments are being used.
Yeah. Yeah. Bass is playing that. It's kind of cool. Switch roles. Shift in tone here now, yeah. Aussies, right?
Yeah, they're from Australia. Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
That's cool. Yeah, it's funny, like, we talked about this on the first part, but that one kind of reminded me of King Gizzard a little bit.
Yeah.
Even
well, the same neck of the woods. Yeah. We did talk about that in part one. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. But like the number of like different kinds of different influences that you can hear. I think that's kind of what I'm picking up and really liking about this band and you know, it feels like, yeah, there's just so many like shout outs he's giving to different, you know, like the drummer sounded like a Led Zeppelin drummer. He was using a kind of John Bonham style. The guitars are that heavy fuzzy, you know, Jimi Hendrix kind of sound. The choice of that one guitar that made that sound, that kind of weird like keyboardy sound. I thought that's, at first I was like, oh, that's weird, and then I was like, no, that's actually brilliant. That's a good choice to use that. So yeah, I'm loving it.
Best song on the album so far. I love that one.
Yeah.
Great jam.
Absolutely.
Great jam.
Yeah.
And I kind of had a feeling that was going to be my kind of jam. I don't know why the length of the song told me. I think you're gonna get a jam out of this one, Ryan, and I was right. So, well, I'm never wrong, but I just like to announce when I'm right. All right, Nathan. The last song on the album, end of this performance, is called. Are you ready? Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready. What
I
is
don't
it?
really mind. I don't really mind.
Is that what it's called?
I don't really mind.
Okay.
It is. That's what it's called.
Oh, okay. It's hilarious, by the way.
It's stupid. Just nobody's watching this anyway, so just.
Yeah.
Got a speaker. What is it? Is this a new song?
It's the outro.
Okay.
They go back to the song previous to the outro with it.
Oh, okay. They just leave him to do his thing in front of the speaker.
Oh yeah. Classic rock and roll. Feedback. Distortion. All right, show's over, folks. Get your gear. Go on. Get out of here.
Should I click it closed?
No. Anyways, Murdoch, shame on you. Like, why did he give us that concert or that live performance? Anyways,
Well, I want to say this before you get into that.
that's all I was going to say.
I'm very happy that we did both, and this is why. I was already impressed with the band when we listened to it the first round, or with the sound of this band, and I'm glad I got to see the lyrics as well, because
Sure, yeah.
I don't know if I would have understood the lyrics watching it. I just would have been like, cool music. I like this music.
Yeah, because we don't speak Australian. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's it. But I like to be able to see that he's a talented lyricist. I think sometimes I miss that when we watch it live, and that's
I understand.
if it's a brand new
know.
band. If it's a band we've heard before and we watch it live, it's kind of like, and maybe that's what Murdoch was
There's
going
pros
for
and cons
here.
for everything. There's
Yeah.
It's too bad we can have the lyrics with the live performance.
Yeah, so I was
don't know.
glad to do both. Honestly, I was glad to have both, best of both worlds. So
That's fair.
That's my take.
I kind of agree too. Too bad we didn't think of it for side one, side two. Yeah, I agree too that it was cool that we had that unique experience with this album to kind of here's the studio version, get a feel for it, and like let's see what they look like live too. So yeah, it was a unique discovery mid recording there. I do that sometimes when we do our album recordings. I'll try to dig up some information and while I'm listening, and that one really worked out. And yeah, that was great. Great album, very interesting, very psychedelic, updated psychedelic rock. Kevin's obviously a very talented composer. Again, we said this before. It's not quite my wheelhouse of like I'm going to put this in my car and I'm going to or jog to this, but with this channel, what we love about this channel is the community that it builds, and also that Nathan and I, as friends, best friends, we kind of get to listen to music together for the first time that we did as kids, as we did as teens, and say, hey, what do you think? And just like even like when we were teens, not every song or every album resonates at the same level, but it's always fun to listen to music with my best friend and to talk about it. Yeah. So thank you so much, Murdoch. Murdoch is an amazing supporter of our channel, one of the top tier dudes. So he's intelligent. He's much smarter than me. I don't know if he's smarter than you, but he's much smarter than me.
He's smarter than
He seems
me.
like a highly intelligent person.
He does, and he's also very kind and very thoughtful. So, and last, I wanted to say, I do think I would use some of this music actually
For your videos and
to
stuff?
go alongside videos. Yeah, I think it would go well with visuals. So,
I agree. Yeah, that instrumental, for example, I was thinking that'd be a perfect for a Quentin Tarantino sequence in a film or something.
something like that. Like there's unique ways to use this music, and I think it would. Sometimes that's how music gets known these days. Is somebody uses it in a film, or and then everyone knows that band suddenly. So
yeah. All right.
yeah.
Thank you so much, Murdoch. Thanks to everyone that joined us in Discord. And if you would like us to react to an album or a song, or just support us for saying thanks, guys, for being amazing, join our Patreon. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.